Hey everybody, welcome to the first episode of our podcast.
Hey.
Podcast stuff.
Yeah, so this is on Mr. GameandBeard, but you should also check us out individually. I'm Brendan from Nintendo.
I am Rob from Giant Bearded Face.
I'm Camden from Camatello.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about the PlayStation 5 press conference that happened last night at the time of recording.
So pretty recent.
Yeah. So overall, I really like the conference. What about you guys?
Oh yeah. No, everything they showed, I mean minus like a couple games where I was kind of questioning them.
Mm-hmm.
I was super down for it.
I got to say I was pretty impressed. There's even some games that I have zero interest in, but I was looking at them and I was like, man, does that look phenomenal. Like not big on racing games at all, but I saw that Gran Turismo 7 trailer and I was like, man, that looks like some good. Those are really good graphics. Looked like pretty good gameplay, and it was only even playing in like 1080p on the stream, I think. So
yeah,
Gran Turismo has always been like a staple or whatever you want to fucking say of high quality graphics on PlayStation.
Yeah,
it looked awesome. I mean, it was like it's such a stereotypical thing to say, but it looked like it looked like you were watching a movie of it, which is what people always say about everything. Like people used to say that back in the day about games on the Xbox 360, but
and you know what? Like when it first started and like they're showing these games, I was like, this doesn't feel like a huge leap from the PS4.
Yeah.
But then like as I was like sitting there like watching these games, I was like, you know what? I feel like it completely changed my mind.
Mm-hmm.
Because like it was mostly during like the Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah, I was gonna say like the biggest game to me that like felt like the biggest jump was the Ratchet and Clank game.
Yeah, because like at first I was like because it was only in 1080p, so we weren't really seeing like the quality. I was just like, I don't know if this game is gonna look that much better. But then like I went back and watched it in 4K, and I was like, oh, we're gonna go places now.
Mm-hmm. But also those load times.
Yeah, and just the fact that I watched the guy from the Ratchet and Clank team, Insomniac. He was talking about it, and he was mentioning ray tracing on Clank and stuff. And then I kind of went back and watched it, and I was like, yeah, you can really tell the difference between a PS5 Ratchet and Clank versus literally any other Ratchet and Clank. I mean, it just seems like a pretty big leap, especially because ray tracing right now, even for PCs, is kind of considered like a luxury type thing. Like, not that many people experience it. And now that they're bringing it to a very mainstream console like this, seems pretty cool.
I do want to add though that if the PS5's big selling point is load times,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's gonna be a huge draw for a lot of people.
Yeah,
but like load times in the sense of like in Ratchet and Clank, like they were like pulling these worlds, and the worlds would like you would just like instantly be in a new world.
Yeah,
like it was loading the assets around you, not like necessarily like loading screens being short, but like you can do more with the games now.
Well, I know, but like when you like, it's only gonna be like the first party games that are truly gonna take advantage of that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because the way like you gotta see it is if you have developers making a game for PS5 and Xbox One Series X or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the Xbox Series X is going to take 10 seconds to load a game instead of like 5 on the PS5.
Yeah.
They're not going to worry about changing an entire game just to take 5 seconds off of a loading time. You're gonna get that 10-second loading time on the PS5. I mean, maybe it'll be a little different, but it'll be a loading screen.
I think a big selling point, which is a big reason why PC gaming is such a huge thing, is I'm not sure. Probably should have looked really quick about what the frame rate would be like on the PS5 as compared to the PS4. Is there going to be frame rate improvements? Did anyone see anything about that?
I mean, it'll be like at least 1080p 60.
I know like Xbox Series X said they were aiming for 4K guaranteed, like 60 FPS, and I know a lot of developers are saying that that might not be possible for like their setup.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
but I gotta assume like PS5, like they're gonna aim for it.
Yeah.
I would imagine like late gen, you'll see a lot of games at like 4K 60.
Yeah.
But like early gen, it'll be like pick between 4K 30 or 1080 60. I don't remember what game it was, but one of the games actually confirmed that like you'll have like a performance mode or a graphics mode to pick between.
Yeah. Well, it's funny though because like was it one of the guys in the press conference was like, we're trying to make it to where like basically saying like you can have your cake and eat it too,
Mm-hmm.
where you can have like the good resolution and the like steady frame rate.
Mm-hmm.
But it, like I feel like if you're gonna keep it at 30 FPS, that's kind of like a bust.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I see here actually, I just went ahead and quickly looked up what they're expecting, and it says that they're expecting 120 frames per second for some stuff at least.
I think
which
that's
is,
just like the max that you can
I
have.
think that's the cap.
My guess is if a game's gonna hit 120 FPS, it's gonna be a game where like the people that play it want 120 FPS.
Yeah.
Probably like a first person shooter or something. Or like a main title game like from Sony.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or just something that's not very demanding.
Yeah.
I could imagine the new Spider-Man game. I saw, as Brennan was mentioning to me, there's some kind of speculation about it being more of a short and like DLC almost. Not
Yeah.
DLC, but like a
Basically,
little.
basically like Spider-Man 1.5.
They
Yeah,
basically confirmed it's going to be like Uncharted Lost Legacy.
Gotcha.
Like
Just
its
like a
own
spin-off.
standalone, like a standalone $40 game.
Yeah.
So I could see something like that put out, as like as a PlayStation exclusive. If they really want to show off their hardware, something like that, having you could kind of choose between really good graphics and really good frame rate.
Yeah, the big selling point for Spider-Man on the PS5 is like they had to make Spider-Man swinging slower because the load times weren't fast enough. But
Yeah.
now that it can load in everything faster, they can make the swinging faster.
Yeah. And I hope that like it just doesn't feel like it's been long enough between like the Spider-Man games.
Oh yeah, I was really shocked to see that Spider-Man announcement.
Yeah, because like holiday 2020, that's definitely going to be like a 1.5 for sure.
Yeah.
Like a Spider-Man 1.5. Like the fact that it's about Miles is cool.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm excited for that. I'm excited to play as him. But like I don't think it's going to be able to take as much like oomph like the PS5 could get.
Yeah, I'm expecting it to be like 20-hour game. Like for 100%, I mean.
Yeah. Like if that game, like if it can at least look a little bit better than the Spider-Man game, which I mean, Spider-Man on PS4 was fantastic. It looked great. played, like, never really had a slowdown. But like, if it can look a little bit better, because it's gonna be on PS5, and have like way better frame rate, I'm still in. I mean, I'm in regardless because I like Spider-Man so much.
Yeah,
I
and
think
really
that
fast load times.
Yeah,
I think just the fact that it seems like it would be inevitable that they would have to kind of touch up New York from PS4 Spider-Man. They would, because I would assume it would take place in the same world, but just
obviously.
Yeah,
a
maybe like one or two
little
new
bit
areas or something.
a little bit touched up. I think that even just that alone, because one of my favorite things to do in PS4 Spider-Man was just swinging around the city, getting up to the highest points, and messing around with the camera mode and stuff like that. Free diving off of all of it. It was awesome. Like it just looked so good. And if they're gonna make it look even better, load even faster, and you have a whole new Spider-Man with whole new abilities, I mean, I'm sold already.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The only thing is, like, I don't know if it's gonna be like a console seller for me right off the bat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I
Like,
mean, I'm already buying it day one, no matter what. So,
Yeah.
like, 'cause I'm still up in the air because I
well,
want to see like launch titles.
for me, it's like because it can play all my PS4 games. Like, why not just buy it? And then I just don't use my PS4 anymore. You know?
I will say,
Yeah.
from a perspective of my one of my friends who's always been Xbox, he is now saying that he's 100% going to buy the PS5 because A, he can play, because he really wants to play Spider-Man. He really wants to get into all the PlayStation exclusives because there's just such a amazing lineup. And if you can play the previous generation of one,
Mm-hmm.
well, there's also brand new stuff coming out. I mean, I find it strange that you could even argue at this point that it wouldn't be the better one to buy,
Yeah.
but everyone still does.
I mean, I really don't see any reason to buy the Xbox Series X anytime soon because they've confirmed that every game that comes out on the Series X will be playable on the original Xbox One. So
Mhm.
there's not going to be any exclusives for that console. And then even in the future, when there are exclusives, you can just buy them on the PC anyway. So,
Plus, I have a feeling something that Xbox tends to do is they have been just beating their exclusives to death, and I mean I can't even blame them for making not games that people don't generally like, because when you're on the fifth Halo game, what more do you do? Like, what is
they're
the
going
new
on to 6
story that
now.
well, yeah, now they're going to be on 6, but like people didn't really like 5 or 4. But if you put yourself in their shoes, like what do you do with Halo anymore?
Well, in their defense, they have bought a lot of studios lately. So they should be coming out with a lot like of a more of a variety of games.
Yeah.
But like, let's say though, because what Brendan said earlier is that you can just buy the games on a PC. But the
Mm-hmm.
thing is, to like play those games at like what the Xbox Series X is going to be claiming to do,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
these people, like whoever has like the PC, is going to have to be like a really good PC.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I don't
So
have a really good PC, so I'll probably get the Series X eventually.
exactly, like
I just
so
don't
like you
see
would
any reason to right away.
like you would need like at least a $1,500 PC.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Xbox has
The
been pretty clear they're more concerned about selling Game Pass than they are consoles.
Yeah, I mean, like let's face it, Game Pass, they're doing a lot of great stuff with Game Pass,
Yeah.
but like I'm probably gonna end up getting them both, whether or not I get them at launch. It all depends on what's gonna be available at launch. Like
Mm-hmm.
if the whole like PS5, play your PS4 games. I'm just gonna play my PS4 until there's PS5 games that I want to play out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's fair.
So real quick here, about this Spider-Man game. One thing I did notice is, if you guys are looking at the screen still here,
Mm-hmm.
this scene right here, which I'm gonna play, but there's no audio. But just I think we'll probably end up showing it anyways.
Yeah.
If you're actually watching, if you're audio, it's basically the scene of Miles Morales, and in the background it would be
His suit is like disintegrating.
suits disintegrating, and Peter Parker is saying something along the lines of, "Your father told you you had to be, a great man," or something like that.
Like, was it to be like a great hero? You have to do something,
Oh yeah, it's like the "with great power comes great responsibility" type
but in a
thing.
different sense. Yeah.
Yeah, but see, that seemed a little strange to me because it almost sounded, because it sounded like Peter Parker was trying to pass the torch already, which if you go back to PS4 Spider-Man, that seems a little strange that he would do that because he didn't seem like he was done.
I don't personally think that was like a passing the torch thing. I think it's like trying to get Miles prepared for what like the role of Spider-Man is.
Yeah. I mean, there could even be something in this game where, maybe Peter does decide to pass the torch, and then the next big Spider-Man game will be another Miles Morales one, or
I mean,
maybe you
I'm
could switch between the two,
Yeah.
something along those
I
lines.
feel like he'll switch between them.
I also think it'll be like a switch between, but if it's only Miles Morales, like that's not gonna be like a deal breaker for me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I mean,
good with me.
I love Miles Morales, but
Yeah, like because Miles Morales he has like a whole different power set. So
yeah,
Yeah, I
and,
would.
and he's like his own rich character.
Yeah, I would miss Yuri Lowenthal's voice though. He kind of
Yeah,
like was a big part of my enjoyment of that game.
yeah. I mean, he was a great Spider-Man.
yeah.
Yeah. So I hope he would be in it in some capacity.
The only thing I don't want stealth sections.
Yeah, I didn't mind them as much as everyone else, but I wouldn't
Like,
miss them.
yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I didn't mind like playing them, but if they weren't in the game, I would like. I feel like that would be a better way to keep the pace of the game.
Yeah.
I do think though, in the sense of Spider-Man, it makes sense to have some, but maybe they would refine it a little bit.
I don't think the ones
There
as
is
Spider-Man were
definitely,
as bad as the ones as like Mary Jane and stuff.
Yeah,
those were pretty annoying. But Miles Morales doesn't really have like well, I guess he does have his own Mary Jane, but that's not what I'm saying. It's like there's not really a reason for that kind of, you switch to Mary Jane now and be stealthy.
Yeah, in this
Like I
game
can't
probably won't.
I couldn't see a situation like that. At least in
yeah.
this one.
I mean, we have no idea like what other new characters they're going to introduce though.
Yeah, like who's gonna be your villain?
I'm sure there's a whole explanation for this that someone could rant about for 17 hours
Yeah,
or something.
I will say like in the trailer, I wish there was more to it. Like I wish
Yeah.
there was more like traversal footage.
Yeah.
Because the traversal in an Insomniac game, that's like a huge part of Insomniac.
Yeah, I'm surprised it didn't show as much since it's supposed to be coming out like supposedly so soon.
Yeah, like you would think there'd be a little more, but
What'd you say?
holiday 2020.
Yeah, holiday 2020.
That one was holiday 2020.
Which I'm wondering if that's going to be like PS5 launch and they just can't say the date yet, or a little bit after.
That's what I'm thinking, because
Yeah.
I gotta imagine they probably feel if they place this at like $40 for this game, since it's probably like a Spider-Man 1.5,
Mm-hmm.
that people will be like, if I buy the PS5, I can get Spider-Man Miles Morales for $40. So like that's already a game to start off the collection. So they probably will see it like that.
One thing I
Yeah.
will say is when the Spider-Man PS4 came out and the Spider-Man Edition PlayStation came along with it,
Yeah.
I was very jealous of the people who got that because it looked really cool. But obviously, there's no point in me getting that because at that point, I already had a PS4 for a very long time.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
But I'm
we
imagining,
we know people that have like 3 PS3s in their house.
well,
Or
Yeah.
not PS4s.
I have 3
I'm not,
Switches.
not one of those. I get one of everything except usually I don't get an Xbox.
Like usually, if like the last console generation, we'll call it the last console generation now, since
Yeah.
we're getting closer. Like when the updated consoles came out, I bought them and then I just sold the other ones. Like I
Yeah.
didn't see a point in keeping them.
Yeah, I just bought them and then gave them away. Like my brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they sold them.
Yeah.
Camden.
I have a PS4 Pro now, so I made the return back.
Yeah, I don't usually get like special editions, but I'll get like all the revisions. Like I had 4 3DSs because I had a 3DS, a 3DS XL, a new 3DS XL, and a new 3DS.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what happened with me in the 3DS as well.
It just shows
Like I
you,
bought like a normal 3DS, like a 3DS, and then the 3DSL came out, so I bought that, and then the new 3DSL came out, and I bought that, and I just gave those away, like the ones I didn't use.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. The only reason why I never decided to get the new 3DS was because my 3DS XL was the Link Between Worlds Special Edition one. And I thought it was really cool, so I just kept that.
Did you lose it?
No, I know where it is.
Do you know where it is right now?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna say it because it would be strange, but
In your underwear drawer?
no. Well, it's not that strange. My mom's borrowing it right now.
Okay. It's gonna freak people out. My mom's borrowing it.
Well, the way I was originally going to phrase it was, I don't know. Never mind. It doesn't make any sense. Why?
All right.
So was Spider-Man your guys' like favorite game?
No.
I wanted to see more of it, so it's definitely not my favorite game, but I'm super intrigued by it. Like I
Yeah.
want to see a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's about where I am. Is obviously I know it's gonna be good. I know I'm gonna play the crap out of it, but I just didn't see much from it. So what am I supposed to, do with the
Mm-hmm.
information, really?
All right, I want to try to guess what your guys' favorite games were.
Do you want to do it like at the end of this?
I mean, like
Just write them down. Just write them down. What do you think? And then towards the end of it, before we say what our favorite games were, you could take a guess. How's that sound?
I mean, I'm gonna say what my favorite game was, like when we talk about it, and I assumed you guys would too.
Oh,
Yeah, we could just give a quick guess game for both of us to guess who's what
'Cause I-
that person's favorite would be, and then just say it.
because I have an idea for Brendan.
Mm-hmm. I have an idea for you. I just wanted to guess what yours was, and then jump into talking about that one.
If that's the case, by all means, go for it.
I think your favorite was Resident Evil 8.
It's definitely up. It's definitely up there. I don't know if it's my absolute favorite, but it's definitely up there.
If I had to guess, I would guess that you are really excited that they're releasing GTA 5 again.
All right, if we're going on both your guesses, it's definitely Brendan being more correct.
No, my serious guess. I would say.
Are you guessing for Rob?
Yeah. For Rob, I would say I feel like you're excited about Sackboy.
I'm actually a little excited about Sackboy.
You know what's funny is
Mhm.
when that trailer came on, I sent a text to someone and I was like, man, I can't wait to play this game for 20 minutes and then never play it again.
Okay, you know what? I'm actually like Sackboy though. I've always been really interested in Little Big Planet, but I have no desire to make my own levels. And if you like
Yeah,
start playing those games, that's like what it tries to make you do. Like it
yeah,
really doesn't want you to platform. It wants you to
yeah,
make levels. So when I
yeah,
saw this and they're taking that, making the levels out, and it's just a straight platformer, like I'm all there. I'm ready for
yeah,
this game.
yeah. If it's like its own isolated story platformer game,
Hmm.
I might be interested in it, but like I still can't say if I am.
Yeah.
Like Little Big Planet, like it's always seemed like a cool idea to me,
Hmm.
but like it never sticks. It never sticks for me.
Yeah.
See, my assumption was actually based on I thought you really liked Little Big Planet, so now I don't really know.
No, I would say like I would say it's probably Resident Evil. Like I really enjoy the Resident Evil.
Yeah,
I
Yeah.
think this one, like from the trailer that I saw,
Hmm.
like I'm really hoping that the frame rate is a lot better than what it appeared to be.
I didn't even like notice that.
I
Because
think you might have been. It might have actually been the stream because mine was
no,
actually looking.
I went and watched it back on like
Oh,
a
okay.
trailer, and it seemed like a little choppy, like it wasn't as smooth.
Mm.
And I was like,
Mhm.
man, I really hope that like this is just like an early build and they kind of like fix it. But like the fact that the way like this game is, like it looks like it has like witches
Hmm. Werewolves.
and like a werewolf, but the werewolf looks like the El Gigante from Resident Evil 4.
Yeah. Well, they are apparently remaking Resident Evil 4, so
Yeah.
probably just reusing it.
But like I'm very interested in it because like when like at first they were like showing it, I was like
Hmm.
so confused because I missed like the little like first half of it where like they were talking
Yeah.
about how it's like a story.
Yeah. I thought it was Silent Hill at first.
I thought it was like a Van Helsing game,
I thought it was another Outlast.
and then like I started like looking at it, I was like, oh no, I think this is Resident Evil.
Yeah.
And then
Once they
like
got to like, I don't remember, but eventually it clicked.
yeah,
Yeah.
like as soon as it said Village, I
Hmm.
was like, oh, this is definitely Resident Evil. They're gonna turn that into an 8, and then like it popped, and I was like, all right. But I was like, I'm super in for it because like the fact that they're kind of moving away from zombies,
Hmm.
like it'll be strange,
Hmm.
like for sure. But I think
Mhm.
it's like it's gonna be just enough to keep it fresh.
Hmm.
But
Yeah.
it seems like I feel like it might be a little more actiony than I would like it to.
Hmm. It looks like
Yeah.
it's going to be the scariest Resident Evil game to me.
Yeah, because was it like Resident Evil 7?
Hmm.
Like the first few hours of that game, terrifying,
Hmm.
especially in VR.
Yeah.
But then like once you get like a little bit further into the gameplay,
Hmm.
you're just like it's just a little too much like action set piece,
Hmm.
Yeah.
and like a lot of the enemies just kind of repeated.
Yeah.
It
So it was
seems.
just like it lost a lot of like that scare factor. So I'm
Right.
Yeah.
hoping I got like a little bit of the wrong impression from this like trailer,
Hmm.
and that like they want to keep it more like horror focused with like a little bit more of the survival element.
Hmm.
It
I'm
seemed pretty culty. Like the theme was kind of like a cult type thing, which
Yeah, I mean the ladies in the trailer seemed like they felt like witches.
hmm.
yeah.
Like that's like the immediate impression I got, just because like there was like a Victorian castle, Gothic castle.
Yeah.
Do you remember in Bloodborne the area where the witches of Hemwick are?
Yeah.
No, I didn't make it that far.
No.
No, I like the style of the game and everything, but like it took me far too long to get to the first boss, and then Brendan was like, "Oh yeah, it's just an optional boss," and I
Yeah, the
was like,
cleric beast.
"Yeah," and I was like, "Oh okay," and then I just went and played a different game.
Not optional if you're a real gamer.
um, I think that the witches in Resident Evil 8 though are gonna be like mind controlling Chris or
Yeah,
something. Like, there's no way he's
Yeah.
like actually like a bad guy.
I would
Yeah.
say one thing about horror games is it seems like they would be way better in first person because they'd be more immersive. But
Yeah.
something about the third person Resident Evil games are just way scarier to me for some reason.
No,
Really?
I can see the argument. Like let's say Dead Space.
Mm-hmm.
The first Dead Space, when like the first time you play that game, it's fucking terrifying. Like
I never
Yeah.
played it, so
it's terrifying. Like if like you just hear everything, you never know like where they're coming from,
Mm-hmm.
and then like there's and like they'll fall behind you, and you can see the shadow of them fall behind you. So it's like you get that freak out that way.
Mhm.
Yeah,
And
I think a good kind of parallel is. Do you remember in like I think they did a few times in Friday the 13th? Maybe not the first one, but somewhere along in the
the movie,
series. Yeah, where there's certain scenes where like a lot of scenes where they cut to first person and that
that was the whole entire first movie
Yeah.
no, I mean
because they were trying to hide that Jason wasn't the killer. Spoiler alert for like a 40-year-old movie.
actually maybe not Friday the 13th then because I mean when it takes place first place in or first person in the victim shoes and it like shows them running down a hallway but it's in first person all of a sudden. Whenever that
Hmm.
happens in a movie, it really breaks like the immersion for me for some reason. Like it doesn't because it always seems like it doesn't make you feel like you're that person. It makes you feel like
I
some dude
can't
with a camera
I can't
standing
think
there.
of any
I
movie
can't either.
like
I
that.
know it's happened a few times.
I
I
can think of
can't.
movies that are like found footage to where you're
Yeah,
supposed
that's
to
a good
be.
example.
Yeah, like Blair
Found
Witch.
footage,
Yeah,
like where they pick up the camera or something and then they just start running and all you can see is is like the dark woods or something and a shaky camera running and then you hear like them breathing and whatever.
it, it's
That
it,
doesn't feel scary. That feels
that
like
that's
cliche.
that's not supposed to be like when it comes to a found footage film. It's not supposed to be like, oh, now you're in their shoes. It's like now you're getting to experience the fright of this person
Yeah,
without seeing them. Like you get their perspective, but you're not them.
but I think when it comes to a first person horror game a lot of times it plays it as in you are that person,
Well,
which
when you
sometimes
are,
breaks it.
well, the thing is, when it comes to a movie and a
Yeah,
game, you're not playing the movie, you're playing the
yeah,
game. So obviously the game's gonna play to the fact that like they want you to feel like you're in that person's shoes.
Hmm.
yeah. That's fair. But then another thing is that happens a lot is when they have it like in a way that you are in first person and it's like it wants it to feel like you. That works really well in something like VR, I think. But when it's just you're playing it on a TV screen, especially when like the character that you're supposed to be starts talking,
Yeah.
and sometimes they say like cliche video gamey type stuff
Yeah,
like over
that
and over
that
like I need to find the key.
like that
That's
I
what
can
really breaks
see.
it.
Like
Hmm.
if you have like I know there's games where they want the silent protagonist because
Yeah.
that's more immersive, but then there's games where they want there to be like it's easier to tell a story if the character you're playing talks.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like I just mentioned it. I haven't played in a while, so I might get a little bit of stuff not 100% about it, but like Outlast, that was you play that game looking through a camera,
Yeah.
and I thought that worked really well because it's instead of being like, "Oh, you want to be this guy," it's almost like you are that guy, but you're what or like you're watching back the footage. You can feel it in either way.
Well, you're not like you don't have to play the game with the camera up.
Yeah, but
Like you can
I
just
mean, a
walk
lot of
around
it
and
is.
yeah. Well, like for the most part, like if you want to see in the dark, you can pull the camera up.
Yeah,
But if you
that was a
record,
really effective system.
you can get like lore.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was a pretty effective system. I think it would be hard to do it again with another game like that because then everyone would just be like, "Oh, you're ripping off Outlast."
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned VR though, and I think that's like a big reason that these Resident Evil games did switch to first person is so that they can have VR.
Yeah.
And
Like
also, like, it also limits your field of view, which kind of makes it a little scarier.
yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot of times in first-person horror games, um, you feel unrealistically slow. Like maybe it's just because in a
It
first-person
it all
shooter or
depends.
something, you're super fast because you're supposed to be like this, I don't know, super
Mm-hmm.
soldier or something. So it's more that you're used to being super fast in first person,
Yeah.
but
Well,
like
don't play
sometimes in
Visage.
Yeah. That's what I was gonna say.
but like actually Outlast is another good example of when you're running and you're in first person sometimes I feel you feel so slow sometimes. Like you feel like your character just moves stupidly slow.
Well,
Dude.
the way you're also got to see it though is like in Visage, they want you to feel like you're just a person, like you're
Yeah.
not overpowered. You're supposed to be a reporter, like
Yeah.
you're obviously like you're not gonna be in the best physical shape. You're not gonna be a fast runner. Like they want all these different things go into the design of the game. Like if you're too fast, then you feel like you could just get away from everybody. But if you're
Hmm.
too slow, there's no hope. So like you want like that good in between where it's like if I fuck up and go somewhere where I shouldn't, I'm gonna die.
Yeah.
But if I do these things right, I have a chance to get away and hide.
Here's an interesting idea that what you said kind of made me think of is how do you think it would work if a game implemented like an adrenaline meter where like you know in moments because in real life if you were in a moment where you really felt like you were about to die your adrenaline would kick through the roof obviously and then it's the things that adrenaline can do to your body is almost like super like almost like you're a super soldier for a very short amount of time like all of a sudden you can run so fast because you feel like you're in so much danger so
Honestly,
like I think that would be a really cool thing to see sometimes.
honestly, I don't think that would work all that well.
No.
I think it would take a lot of the horror aspect away to be like give like oh you get a temporary boost to run away. Like that's still like if you know you're gonna get that temporary boost to run, that's
Yeah.
gonna take away some of the horror aspect.
Yeah.
Maybe it would have to be something short and sweet then where like in the most like panicked moments is when you like really get a little bit of a boost and you but then the maybe the bad guy starts running a little faster too because you start running faster.
Maybe I don't know.
I don't know.
I I'm not a big fan of the idea.
It's basically just
No,
like a stamina bar.
Yeah,
Like, and then you run
I
out of
guess
stamina.
and then you're going Visage running speed when you run out of stamina.
Visage has like the smallest difference between walking and running you'll ever
Yeah,
see in a game.
it's the smallest boost. It's super fucking annoying.
Yeah, you can check it out tomorrow, I think, or soon on our channel. I don't know
Yeah.
exactly when.
There's a few games where I feel like you just run way too slow.
I mean, you gotta see though, like the running speed. It's all part of the game design. Visage is really like you want to run faster, but I understand that they don't want you to like you're in a house,
Yeah.
so it's just like they're gonna limit your speed, and it's like nothing comes at you that fast.
Yeah.
So it's like you can still get away from just briskly walking, but it's like if you're not paying attention, you will have to like redo a part for sure.
That reminds me of like the old horror movie cliche where like Michael Myers doesn't run. You know,
Oh yeah, then he just pops up in front of you.
he just walks at you. They're like sprinting away, and he's just like strolling by.
He's just waiting on them to trip because they always do.
Somehow outrunning like a car or something, but he's just walking.
Yeah. Going back to Resident Evil though, the new Resident Evil.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The setting I think is perfect.
Yeah, definitely. Do you think they made the whole game based on a village just so they can put that 8 in there?
Yes.
I think it definitely helped them out trying to figure that out. Like
How much do you want to bet it's not even a village? It's just like a cult town, and they were like, "Yeah, it's a village."
well, I mean, you could essentially call a town a village,
Mm-hmm.
depending on the time frame and the capabilities of that town.
You know what
wonder
Resident
what
Evil
the
9 is going to be called? Resident
wonder
Evil
what the
6.
Is
I saw some people making a joke of like how Resident Evil 9 is just going to be a remake of Resident Evil 6 just so they can put that IX in there.
Yeah, I can see that, but
Oh, this is actually really interesting. I looked up what the technical definition of a village would be, and it's larger than a hamlet and smaller than a town.
Well, duh.
Let's see what the
Yeah.
heck is a hamlet.
I would assume probably less than like 1,000 people is a village,
Yeah.
or like less than 500 people is a village or something like that.
Yeah, I'm excited for the setting though, and I really loved Resident Evil 7. So
Yeah,
I'm excited to see that they're like continuing that story. But
Yeah.
like you said, like it did have some issues, like namely like the enemy variety and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
if they like take that groundwork that they laid in 7 and build on it for this game, like that has a lot of potential to be like one of the best Resident Evil games for sure.
Yeah, like if they can do like the first 4 hours of Resident Evil 7 and kind of expand that a little bit further into the game,
Mm-hmm.
then Resident Evil Village is gonna be like cool. It's gonna be great.
Mm-hmm. I'd really like to see Resident Evil 9 be like an original game in the style of the Resident Evil 2 and 3 remakes.
Yeah.
Like another, like, go back to like the survival
Like
horror kind of third person.
You want a third person?
Yeah, like I like the first person a lot, but I'd like to see, like, we haven't really seen that like this Resident Evil engine in like a third person original game yet. So it would be cool to like get one of those.
Didn't they use the Resident Evil engine in 2 and 3 remake?
Yeah, I'm saying like original one though.
Oh, you want like new character?
Yeah, like Resident Evil 9, and it looks like Resident Evil 2 and 3 remake.
Gotcha. All right, I got you.
Maybe even Ethan, like give him like a model and like have a third person game with Ethan. I mean, I don't know.
So
Depends how much they want to commit to VR, I guess.
Yes, Camden.
let's say, so what do you guys think of Project Athia?
I think it looks cool, but it's probably never going to come out because it's Square Enix and they announce things like 10 years before they come out.
It'll come out on PlayStation 6.
If it doesn't have a name, like don't even think about it. Just forget about it.
back when I think the Xbox One first got announced, they had a game that was called like Project something, and I don't think it ever came to be anything. And like I'm hoping that game, Project Athia, like it comes out because I think it looks super interesting. Like I want to know more about what's going on in the game. Like I like the setting.
Yeah. A lot of the stuff that I was most excited for, they only showed like 5 seconds stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's being made by people that were like a team that was formed from the Final Fantasy 15 team. And there were a lot of things that game did well with like world building and stuff like that. So it would be cool to see it in another setting.
Yeah. I will say though, like when it the trailer was first starting, I was like, oh, it's gonna be a new Tomb Raider.
Really? I didn't even think that.
I thought it was gonna be a new Tomb Raider just because I think Square Enix does Tomb Raider now, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, it might be a new Tomb Raider, but then I saw like the weird wolf walking, and I was like, it might not be Terminator anymore.
Yeah, Tomb Raider.
Tomb Raider.
The Tomb Raider team is making that Avengers game.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
I would like to see more of the Avengers game.
Yeah, it's rumored that it's going to be a gas though. So
I don't think I would.
I don't care because of that.
I don't think I'm gonna buy that one initially. I might see what other people say about it. I didn't.
Yeah, I'll see.
You're gonna let other people make your decisions for you? That's good to know.
I want to see more gameplay. I never thought it looked that good in the first place.
That's what I'm saying. I want to see more of it. Like I'm not saying I'm gonna buy it. I want to see more of it. Like, because I'll say I'm burned out on MCU.
Yeah, but I'm not burned out on MCU video games because we have one good one.
Yeah.
So
are we talking about X-Men Origins Wolverine?
I don't know. I'm completely unfamiliar with X-Men. Don't know any games or movies or anything.
Let me tell you, X-Men Origins Wolverine, shit movie, awesome video game.
He's obviously talking about Punisher for NES.
Are we talking about?
Is it SNES?
No, there's a Punisher on. There's a Punisher on NES, a Punisher on Genesis, and then they released another Punisher game alongside the Thomas Jane movie on the Xbox and PS2. It might have came out on GameCube, but I think it might have got canceled on GameCube.
Totally off topic. Well, not totally off topic, but just kind of throwing my opinion out there. If I were asked what my favorite Marvel thing to come out, other than like probably Endgame, obviously is
Guardians of the Galaxy.
No, I was actually gonna say Punisher, the TV show. That show was so good.
I never watched it.
It was okay. It was okay. At best.
I've watched it 3 times.
I thought it was okay at best.
I'm excited for those Disney Plus shows.
I don't know what any of those are.
Really? There's like 6 of them announced.
And I thought
Are you talking about the Marvel?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I think I'm interested in WandaVision.
Yeah. I'm interested in the What If series.
But
depending on what direction it goes. Yeah.
I will say I thought it was a little, I know why they did it obviously, but it's a little disappointing, but also encouraging at the same time that they're taking like the lesser known characters, like not lesser known, but less popular characters and doing stuff with them. Because, I mean, how much did we actually see of like Scarlet Witch, Vision?
Not a lot.
We didn't see that much about Falcon. We didn't see that much about.
All right, let's reel it back in. We're talking about MCU. That's nothing to do with PlayStation. Let's get.
Okay.
Next thing we're talking about?
DualSense Controller.
Honestly, I think the PS5 controller, I think it looks fucking good.
I think it looks very cool. I am disappointed that they ditched the DualShock name. That was a good name.
I'm absolutely fine with it.
I'm a little surprised it doesn't seem like it has back buttons, because the back button attachment came out for the PS4 controllers, and people assumed it was so that it would be usable on the PS5. But it didn't look like the controller had any back buttons.
Yeah.
Control them with your mind.
I hope that, like, I'm assuming since the headphones are gonna they're gonna have 3D sound in them.
Yeah.
They're probably gonna be like at least somewhere between $100-$150, which is gonna suck because I don't want to spend that much money. But I think in order to get like the good sound, where like if you're playing a game and you want that like immersion, it'd probably be a good bet.
Well, 3D sound is actually a software thing, not a hardware thing, surprisingly.
Yeah.
So it doesn't actually matter what headphones you have for 3D sound.
I know, but I would assume that they would be like if they're gonna release them, they're gonna be at least up to Sony standards, like of what they want for their games.
Is it just me, or is there like a trend of not actually showing much gameplay?
Yeah, so he's looking at the Stray trailer right now.
Honestly, you want to know my opinion on Stray? I'll play it.
I mean, like cats and robots. Yeah, it sounds pretty good.
I'm not a cat person, so
because I'm a cat person. I feel like this game had a very specific audience.
Yeah,
like people that like storytelling games, maybe without like heavy in your face story. But also cat people.
Yeah, I was looking up this game. Apparently it was announced like 5 years ago.
Was it?
Yeah, it was like called Project something back then. I don't remember the name.
It was the one that Rob was talking about on Xbox.
Oh yeah.
No, but this is apparently like their first game, so I don't know. Nothing to really expect. I'm not really interested in it, but maybe it'll be cool.
Like I want to see.
I didn't see any gameplay. Is the thing.
I mean, you might have saw gameplay from this trailer. You just didn't know it. Like that trailer might have been like gameplay.
Maybe.
I am the cat walking across the street.
Yeah, you're supposed to be the cat.
As long as if it's like Untitled Goose Game and there's a meow button, I will heavily consider it.
Real quick, Cam, because I don't think you said anything about Ratchet and Clank when we talked about it, and you just watched the trailer. What'd you think?
Oh, I saw the trailer initially. I was just kind of scrolling through this stuff, but...
Well, what do you think of it? You never said anything about it earlier.
Well, I said I thought it looked awesome.
Oh, I don't remember that.
I was talking about the ray tracing.
Yeah.
I remember the ray tracing.
What was it?
The game itself, I will say, looked very, very good. I haven't played much Ratchet and Clank at all.
I haven't either. But
I think I will definitely give this one a try. And let's talk about the elephant in the room here. You guys might have been hearing about it.
You know what's funny is
what?
Before we started this podcast, like a couple hours ago, like we were talking about it, like what we want to talk about and everything. Yeah. I was like, someone's gonna use the phrase "elephant in the room."
Did you say that? You know what? You probably said it.
No, I did not say before we even started this. I didn't even say it. I'm talking like hours ago. I was like, we're gonna do this podcast, and someone's gonna use the phrase "elephant in the room."
Well, that's the phrase that involves the craze that I have seen people mainly on Reddit talking about so far about this new girl character in Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah.
I have unwillingly seen some very strange imagery involved.
Yeah, sure.
Are you saying it's on Reddit?
You got a link to put in the description, or
is it on Reddit? Did you go to Reddit or Rule 34?
No. I was just looking through the PlayStation thing, and people were linking different fan arts, and I thought it was real fan art, not real fan art.
Whoa! Are you saying Rule 34 isn't real fan art?
I think that is.
Camden's gonna get canceled.
That's That is when you're a little too much of a fan.
More like Camatello.
I don't think I'm in the unpopular opinion group here. I think
Listen, there's nothing. Shut up. There is nothing wrong with drawing nudie pictures of your favorite furry video game creatures. Okay.
It's called a Lombax.
I was gonna say, what is
Yeah,
Ratchet?
it's called the Lombax. Yeah.
What's her name?
I don't think they announced it. I don't think they said anything about it.
Yeah, I really liked her design though. Like,
Yeah,
I think it's pretty cool.
It's very well designed, but
in general, I like playing as like the real characters usually. So it's cool that there might be an option for that.
Yeah.
I don't know if you will get to play as her or not, but
I'm pretty sure you will. Like I'm assuming you'll play as Ratchet. I'm assuming you'll play as Clank. But I'm assuming if Clank is in her dimension, you'll probably play as her along with Clank.
Yeah, that would be ideal. I actually just started Ratchet and Clank 2016 today because I saw this trailer and I was like, I should play that game. And it's really good.
I played through it. I liked it a lot.
I should probably play through them soon. Maybe I will when I get my Elgato.
Alright,
what about Returnal? Anybody care about Returnal?
Alright. Let me go through this real quick, alright?
You guys still seeing the stream?
Yes.
Okay.
I think the game looks cool as shit. Not a fan of the name though.
It's like the dumbest name I've heard of anything ever.
Yeah. Like I think the game, like, it looks super interesting. Like I definitely want to play it.
I also don't really want to play as this Karen.
Yeah, it doesn't help.
I prefer a different main character.
She has different color eyes, though.
Yeah. What do they call that? A heterochromia?
They call it Max Scherzer.
Yes, it's heterochromia. Something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I mean, it looks pretty cool.
Like I think it looks cool. Like House Marquee, they did Resogun, which is a super fun game. So this feels like a kind of like a definitely different takeoff for them.
Resogun wasn't that the like?
It's a shoot 'em up.
Shooter. It was like a side-scrolling shooter.
That's mostly what they've done.
Yeah.
They've mostly done like shoot 'em ups and side-scrolling shooters. So this is like completely different.
Yeah.
Well, I'll scroll back here real quick to show you guys what I'm about to talk about.
But like
showing like actual gameplay, it looked like kind of like an overhead view. Like
well,
I don't think that's like gameplay.
I'm assuming that's like partial gameplay. Like maybe it's like a cinematic camera.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I think it'll be like a third-person shooter.
I think it's gonna be a third-person shooter because.
Like, there we go.
That's right here.
Gameplay right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it looks pretty cool, but I mean, we need to see more about it, of course.
Yeah, I would like to see more of it before, like, I'm like dead set on getting it. Like, see if I want to wait for it to go on sale to play it.
Yeah, hopefully this character dies like an hour in and you get a different one.
Well, apparently she dies all the time, and then.
Oh yeah, yeah. It kind of made me think of like Outer Wilds, but like on a larger scale, like not an indie game, obviously. I don't know if anybody played that.
No, but I've seen footage of it.
I didn't play it either, but I've heard a lot about it.
Returnal sounds kind of like some sort of bypass surgery that you would get or something.
Sounds like returd anal.
Sounds like a little bit like a colonoscopy. Like,
yeah, no.
I gotta get my Returnal next week.
Definitely not a fan of the title.
Yeah.
But I'm extremely interested in the game.
Well, you guys know what my favorite game was. I think it's gonna be pretty easy to guess.
Let me take a guess. Does it start with a D?
It does.
And end with Demon Souls.
Ooh, close. It's actually Destruction All-Stars. No, it's definitely Demon Souls. I was gonna go for Destruction All-Stars though on the joke, and then you said it starts with a D. I was like, it still works.
We're watching the Destruction All-Stars trailer right here now, and
I will say this about Destruction All-Stars. I might be interested in it if I know what is actually going on.
It looks like somebody was like, we could be the next Fortnite.
It's exactly what it is. But it's like
If Fortnite.
But I don't know if it's supposed to be like. I don't know if it's supposed to be like Destruction Derby meets like a running game. Like I don't know what's going on. Like why these people are running outside the cars.
It looks like a battle royale with cars, but also
Maybe.
you can be out of the cars.
I think
My main takeaway from this game though was that this was made specifically to stream. It's a streaming game.
And to get the Fortnite crowd because the characters look very Fortnite-y.
I will say I think this is some sort of weird like mashup of Fortnite, the level design from Splatoon, and like Twisted Metal gameplay.
I think that's insulting to Splatoon.
I think that's insulting to Twisted Metal.
No, you guys know you don't see what I'm saying with the tracks here. They have like the audience kind of weird little vibe it gets. Like it just reminded me a lot of Splatoon, the level design.
I mean, I guess like how you're
color
like
palette.
I don't know about color palette, but like how you're like in this arena.
Yeah,
that's what I mean, basically.
Yeah.
The color palette is a little Splatoon-y, but you just probably don't think of that because usually the point of Splatoon is to cover the map in neon paint.
The point of Splatoon is to spooge all over the stage.
Looks like that might be the point of this game too, with all the furry costumes.
Did you know the Splatoon team is the same team that makes Animal Crossing? It's kind of surprising because like they're completely different games.
Very much so.
But that's why it took so long for New Horizons to come out. It's because they made Splatoon 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This looks adorable.
Oh, what's it called?
Like, Spirits.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was like one of the most surprising ones to me. Like I think this actually looks really cool.
Yeah.
And
it looks very like Pixar-esque.
From like the gameplay they show, like if the the fighting is like a kind of like a, I hate to say it, like a Dark Souls or anything like that kind of fighting, like a tight combat system. I think this game will be like pretty cool.
Yeah,
it'll be like an animated movie with Dark Souls combat.
The only thing that like worries me is that like the animation is so good. I wonder like how long can they actually keep it up?
Yeah,
like it's gotta be like a pretty short game if it's gonna look this good all the way throughout. Because this is like their first game.
It's like an actual like animated film in a game.
Well, this is gameplay here.
I mean, I assume so.
Awesome.
That's what I mean, though, and it's like their first game, so like
right here, what you're seeing right now, that's gameplay. That's like this is gameplay right here, and it looks good.
Yeah, this looks very good. I mean, maybe this is same thing kind of as Ratchet and Clank. I mean, maybe this is kind of the really good graphics and frame rate and animation abilities that we're going to see from the PlayStation 5. I mean, maybe this is just another one of those games that's really showing it off well.
I mean, hopefully. I'm very hopeful for this game. Like, it's definitely going to be on my radar.
Yeah, I'm going to be keeping an eye out.
Plus, like, I think there's a little bit of...
Hey, folks, I'm Joe Biden.
we got a little bit of an ad here going on our stream right now.
Man, I have YouTube Premium. It always weirds me out when I see ads on YouTube.
We're skipping NBA.
Let's just touch on NBA for like a hot second.
Yeah.
NBA 2K20, but it's
all the sweats.
What's the end?
All the sweats.
That's not real gameplay.
That's how they improve the graphics. Is they add more sweat.
The game never looks as good as the trailers they show, though.
Look, man, all I'm saying is that he's sweating so much in this trailer that it looks like he's peeing himself. Like it doesn't look good. It just looks like there's.
What is wild to me is that Zion Williamson
is peeing himself in this video. I know.
has played like 20 NBA games, and he gets like the trailer to himself.
Because he was the only one that was available when they were trying to do the
Yeah,
they were trying to do the motion sense thing.
but understand it. Anyways, none of us are really probably gonna get NBA 2K21.
Nah.
Next game.
Last NBA game I bought was 2K16
Next game.
because it was free, I think.
So the next game is Solar Ash, which is made by the creators of Hyper Light Drifter. And I never played Hyper Light Drifter,
I didn't as well.
but I probably should because I've heard it's a lot like A Link to the Past.
Right here, what I'm showing on our stream here, this is literally exactly what the planet from Interstellar.
Yeah.
It's really
I don't.
weird.
So this like it looks exactly like Hyper Light Drifter. I don't know if it's like an actual sequel,
I don't
Or
think
what?
it is.
just like the same art style,
I don't even think that's the same art style.
or
Hyper
like
Light
same like
Drifter-
colors. I guess is what I'm saying.
Hyper Light Drifter was like isometric, I believe,
Yeah, it was like A Link to the Past.
and it was like more pixelated. This is
Yeah.
like smoother animation,
In 3D.
3D behind the back camera.
This reminds me a lot of. Did you guys ever play Fury?
No,
No, but I saw somebody play it.
yeah,
It looks a lot like that to me.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
yeah,
it's
I can see that.
It looks a lot faster and maybe a little more. I don't know, maybe a little smoother, but
Mhm.
I think that's just because
Like, This game is like,
more optimized or whatever.
I have to say, I don't know if I'll play it, but I don't think it'll be a game I wouldn't mind like just like sitting and watching someone play.
Yeah. I mean, I think it looks good. Like I might pick it up. Hyper Light Drifter is apparently really good.
Oh, and I hear like nothing but good things about Hyper Light Drifter.
Dude, I need to buy it actually. I'm gonna put it on my wish list like now.
Oh, here's the elephant in the room.
What, the Horizon trailer?
No,
Demon Souls.
This is obviously my most anticipated. If you watch my channel, you know.
Wait, this is your most anticipated?
Whoa.
Yeah,
You said you wouldn't play it.
I was just about to mention. If you watch my channel, you have heard me say I don't want to play Demon Souls. My opinions changed because now it'll be very easily accessible, and it'll look great, and it's remastered.
Remade completely.
Yeah, it's pretty much remade from the ground up.
Like this is gonna be like Shadow of the Colossus level remake.
Yeah.
I'm perfectly fine with. I wanted to play this game. I just didn't want to do it in an emulator or on a PlayStation 3 or anything like that.
I mean,
So now this is perfect for me right now.
I do have to say, like, this looks fantastic, but they're obviously not showing any gameplay.
Yeah, this is all like pre-rendered.
Yeah, I'm a little bit worried of somebody other than FromSoft touching this game. Like, what are they going to do to it, you know? Like, how drastically are they going to change things?
Yeah, like how's the combat going to be?
Yeah, like, is it still going to feel the same? I think they switched the apostrophe. I think it was on the other side of the S. I could be wrong, though.
I will say,
Cancel Demon Souls now!
Hang on, I'll check right now.
some people that are I follow a few channels that are very Dark Souls oriented. Like they do a lot of reviews of like the bosses in all the different From Software games, and they do speedruns and stuff. And I follow a few channels like that. And when the Dark Souls remastered came out, they were pretty unhappy with it because they thought it was kind of lackluster.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, this time with this game coming out, they are like ecstatic. Like they think it's going to be the greatest thing of all time.
Well, here, I can help you with this. The reason people are upset about Dark Souls is, one, they didn't really change much, but they did change the lighting, which a lot of people really liked in the original game. And the biggest problem with it for most people was that Dark Souls Remastered replaced Dark Souls on Steam. So you can't actually buy the original Dark Souls anymore. You can only buy Dark Souls Remastered.
Mm-hmm.
Here, that's not an issue because the only way you could even play this game is if you have a PS3. So it's been like stuck on this console from 2 generations ago now. So we don't have to like worry about it like replacing the old one. The old one's still there and just as accessible as it was before, which is not very. So, plus this is like completely remade from the ground up. So it's not like Dark Souls where they're just like changing a few things.
Yeah. Here, you guys keep talking. I'm gonna pause myself for 1 second.
Okay. I mean, yeah, this is obviously like, as you said, my most anticipated game. If anybody remembers, like when we were playing through Dark Souls 3, like this is one of my favorite series.
Yep. And little fun fact, we were gonna play original Dark Souls, but we scrapped all those.
Yeah, the audio like cut off at one point, so we like lost a few episodes, so we would have had to restart. And
yeah, I think we had like 9 episodes lined up, and like all of the audio was garbage. Though to say a lot of the audio when we first started was garbage.
That's true. We used to share a mic because we didn't know how to work with 2. For some of those first episodes. But yeah, like I played this like right before Dark Souls 3 came out, like somewhere around like March 2016. I played this game and I absolutely loved it. But I haven't played it since then. I always wanted to go back to like 100% it, but then I'd have to turn my PS3 on, so I haven't. So I'm really excited for this. I haven't actually played like the Shadow of the Colossus remake, but I mean it looks really good, so I'm happy that this is the studio behind it. I mean, if it's going to be anybody but FromSoft.
Yeah, I will say, I did try to play Demon Souls back when I first got my PS3. My sister's boyfriend let me borrow it because he let me borrow like a stack of games.
Yeah,
because he has still so many, and I got to where like you walk out of the castle in the very beginning, and a dragon drops down on the bridge.
Yeah.
And then shoots flames out. And I never played a game like this, so I was just like, I didn't know what to expect, and the flames like killed me immediately. And I was like, let me check out some of these other games, and then I just never touched it again.
That actually happens in Dark Souls also.
Oh yeah, I'm aware.
All right, I'm back.
Yeah,
no one asked you.
I can't wait for this game though. I also really hope that maybe this means we'll get a Demon Souls 2 at some point.
Oh, you think it'll be like the start of the rebranding of Demon Souls?
I mean, that would be cool because a lot of the whole reason they made Dark Souls is because like they didn't have the rights to Demon Souls to make a new one.
Yeah.
Which maybe they still don't because they're not actually the ones making it.
Yeah. So would you still be excited if it was somebody else continuing Demon Souls?
I would, but less so. Like, I don't know. I guess it would depend on who's making it. Like, is it, like Koei Tecmo who made Neo? Like, they obviously know how to make a Souls game. So, yeah, I would be excited. Like, I just think it would be cool to have another game in the Demon Souls universe specifically. But, I don't know. It's probably unlikely.
I know who's taking over Demon Souls. EA.
Well, I don't know about that.
Well, it looks like it's time for Camden to hit the old dusty trail.
If you want to heal, you pay an extra $5.
This one though, it has like some of the most memorable boss fights, and the way the world works is really cool. Like it's not like Dark Souls where it's all like connected. You just go to like level 1-1, 1-2, 1-3, 1-4, but you don't do them in order.
Yeah.
Like, I actually tried to do that. Like, I went to 1-3 and it was like impossible. And I was like, what's going on? Turns out you're supposed to go to like 4-1 first. Like, you just kind of have to like figure out which one is the easiest one to go to.
Great.
Yeah.
It's more like Mega Man, you know, like where you can pick either any of the boss is to go to.
Yeah, and then
like,
you use that boss's power to make it easier.
Right. Except in this case, the boss's power is just like leveling up.
Yeah.
In Dark Souls, though, you can go to a lot of places really quickly.
Yeah.
But it's just like,
but you gotta like find them. Here, it's like just go over to 5-1 and just like go to the portal for it.
So it'd be kind of like if in Mario 64 you could just go straight to the Bowser painting.
Yeah.
Something like that.
I mean, you can't go to the final boss, but yeah.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, take that, nerd.
All right, you want to go to the next game? Anybody else have anything to say about Demon's Souls?
No.
Camden's
I would
finally
say
going to play it.
that Bloodborne 2 will be better.
If it ever exists.
I will say, just to touch on Grand Theft Auto 5 coming to PS5.
Yeah.
At the end of it, they said GTA Online will be available at launch. I'm trying to figure out, does that mean at launch of the PS5 or when GTA 5 comes out on PS5?
I think when GTA 5 comes out on the PS5, because it said it was going to be free at launch.
Yeah.
So I think it means like it'll be free when GTA 5 launches.
But the thing is,
But I don't know.
GTA Online's already free. So that makes me wonder if they're going to release the online as like its own separate entity.
Yeah, I don't know.
Me and Brendan briefly touched on a topic involving GTA and games like that where it's just so huge at this point. Like Skyrim and GTA 5. Yeah, it's so huge at this point that I feel like, I mean, I know they have great teams working on the sequels and stuff and everything, but it must be so intimidating kind of to make that game, because if you make GTA 6 and it doesn't somehow beat GTA 5 in the way that fans like it, man, I mean,
Well,
it's also such an impossible standard.
well, you got to think like Red Dead 2, the online on that.
Yeah.
It is definitely not blowing out Grand Theft Auto 5. Like, it's nowhere near the level of Grand Theft Auto 5. But
That's what I mean is once they make GTA 6 or Elder Scrolls 6, people just expect, I think people are really expecting it to just blow GTA 5 and Skyrim out of the waters.
see, here's the thing you got to think though. With these games, the online, like especially Elder Scrolls, there really shouldn't be online Elder Scrolls.
No, they already have Elder Scrolls Online.
I know, and I didn't like it. It took away a lot of like the story of Elder Scrolls, because they're always like, you're the one hero that can do it, and then you see like 6 other people turning in a quest, and then
Yeah.
But like Grand Theft Auto, Elder Scrolls, they're not online games generally. Like when it comes to the main story of them,
Mm-hmm.
like the way it is GTA Online is literally its own. It's its own thing.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm not worried about GTA 6, like online, not living up to GTA 5.
Yeah, I'm not either, because I'm not gonna play it.
Yeah. So like the way I judge those games is the single player. Online, I don't give a shit.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, I think basically just my point is that I feel like people kind of expect a little. I mean, I know why they expect it, because it's been such a long time at this point since either of those games were released. But I feel like it won't be the jump that people are hoping for. You know what I mean? I think actually they might. Someone, I don't know if it's confirmed, but I read that GTA 6 would actually be a lot smaller of a world. And I think that that was probably a really good decision, because if you make a small world, you can really pack it full of detail so that you don't have to try to do what they did with GTA 5, which is make a huge world and make it infinitely explorable and that kind of stuff. I think it's a pretty good idea.
Yeah, I mean it's all, you know, a specific person's cup of tea.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone's gonna have a different opinion to it. So, like me personally, I don't mind giant game worlds. If it's a little bit smaller, you know, that's cool with me. It makes getting around easier. If
Yeah.
it's huge, also fine with me. Might take me a lot longer to play through the game because
Yeah.
I'm not always gonna have time to traverse 15 minutes to get from one spot to another.
Well, that's what I think, like, in regards to like Elder Scrolls 6, is I think people are going to want it to be like Elder Scrolls 5, which you know, people got, at this point there's people out there that have 10,000 hours worth of playtime because they just do different characters, different dialogues, because that world is so huge and has so many missions. I mean, I would love to see them do that, but there's just so many things that I feel like I would like to see more that other people might overlook in return of I want a huge world or something like that. Like, I would much rather have a really refined combat and a much better story than look how far I can go, you know?
Yeah.
Because that's one of the things I don't like about Skyrim anymore is it's hard to play because the combat is very sloppy, and I know there's like mods and stuff that fix it, but the fact that you had to install a mod to fix it is a
Well,
pretty big problem, especially since it's on every console as well.
I mean, a lot of games have mods that, you know, put it in terms fix the game
Yeah,
because
Mm-hmm.
a lot of companies won't do it.
yeah,
Like they'll put the game out and then they're like, we gotta move on to the next one.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I mean, that's just the common argument I tend to see when people mention things like the combat in this game, in that game. And I always see people say like, "Oh, well, there's this mod that fixes it." It's like, I don't want to
Mm.
make a mod that fixes it. It's, I mean, for Pete's sake, it's playable on the Switch, you know?
Yeah. I mean, Skyrim's biggest problem is that it's 9 years old.
I
Yeah.
mean, Skyrim is playable on an Alexa, on an Alexa device.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Well, I don't know if you would get the full Skyrim experience. When I
Yeah.
first played it, of course, I was blown away. It was awesome at the time, but now that I've played much better combat games and probably better story games and just better games, it's like, well, I don't really want to go back to that.
I don't know. That's the thing. Games are always going to improve.
They've been
Well, for the most part.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
I just
Like,
wonder, will Elder Scrolls 6, once it eventually comes out in 25 years, will it will it be the next step, or will it, because I think they've been developing it for a long time.
listen. Here's what I'm going to say. Todd Howard,
Oh,
they make, we'll call it beginner level RPGs.
yeah,
Like these games aren't gonna be the deepest RPG experience you play.
yeah,
So they only gotta fine tune certain aspects. So
Mm-hmm.
like they're making these games to where they want to add specific details, but
yeah,
they're not gonna enrich you with upgrades and all these different things. Like they're gonna make it where you level up, you upgrade this stat, get this
yeah,
perk, and that's pretty much it. You're gonna play a story that's fair. We'll call it cookie cutter. I've never been super impressed with any other stories when it comes down to it. I just like doing like the side quests because I
yeah,
feel like the side quest further expands on a world that's not as creative as I want, or not as good as I want it to be, but the side quests kind of are what bring me in. Because I'll say Skyrim, the main storyline, I have no recollection of it.
Yeah, me
Yeah, it was
either, except the
actually probably
dragon
one of the
stuff.
it was the most uninteresting stuff. Or part of it is, I mean, it was cool, kind of like there were dragons resurrecting because I think there was people resurrecting them, and
Well, I
then
remember like all like I get the story, but it was just so forgettable.
I
Like
think I think the more memorable stories were the side quests, like the Dark Brotherhood was awesome, Thieves Guild was pretty good.
the DLC I feel was a lot better than the main storyline.
Yeah,
But anyways, let's get back.
that's Skyrim.
Yeah,
Deathloop.
so Deathloop is actually one of the ones I'm most excited for
I'm very excited for that.
because this is made by Dishonored people.
I'm interested. I would like to know more.
To me, it looks like it looks. For me personally, I almost always played Dishonored stealthily.
Yeah, this is
Like
not that.
I always
Yeah,
tried to do
it's
no
completely
kill,
different.
no seeing me, no extra powers. You know, this looks like if you took the kind of kill everyone streak that you can have in Dishonored and cranked it to 10. Like it looks like you are just going around and killing everything as fast as you possibly can, and then wearing some sort of fox mask and drinking.
You're not wearing a fox mask. You're trying to kill a dude wearing a fox mask.
Yeah,
But
but
here's the thing I really want to know about this game is because it's two players basically competing against each other, but with two different purposes. One wants to kill all these people that want him dead. The other wants to kill the player. Like, how forgiving like is it if the one person succeeds? Like, does it reset to where you have to kill all the other people all over again, or is it like you have to start back from a certain point, but now they have this like upper hand on you?
Mm-hmm.
this could be
I don't know.
their kind of attempt at like a quick match type game. If that's how it is, instead of a huge long story, it might be like a quicker thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I need to see more about it because a lot of it is pretty unclear.
Yeah,
But
like
it looks like all the Dishonored stuff like turned up to 10.
yeah, like I think like the basis of the game and like the style of it, I think it looks cool. I think it's a cool like idea for a game, but like I want to know more. Like I want to know how frustrated I am, like if like I'm gonna be if I die.
Yeah.
Or it could be. Well, I guess based on the trailer, it's very hard to tell what kind of game it will be, but it could be sort of like how in Dishonored 2 you can play as either Corvo or Emily. It could just be you can play as whichever one you feel like, and then it's just, the rest of it just plays out like by itself, I guess, in the background
Yeah.
instead of like, I don't know. I don't know what other type of way.
I mean, if it's like a single player game and
Yeah,
the but I don't think that's as interesting because then it's just a CPU assassin coming to try and kill you while everyone else is coming to try and kill you. I think that makes it less interesting because then it's just another enemy. Like it's just another computer making that thought, whereas
Mhm.
like you're plotting against another player.
I'm sure they'll do it in a very good way. They always do a good job.
Yeah, honestly, I didn't even think about it being multiplayer. And if it is multiplayer, it kind of kills all my interests because I don't really care for multiplayer games very much.
I mean, like I'm not a big fan of it, but like the idea, what like it might interest me enough to just check it out, see what it's like.
Yeah, I'd maybe like try it. But
Yeah, like it might not be like day one buy for me,
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
but it'd be something that like I'd be willing to try out.
Hmm.
Yeah,
All
I'll
right,
definitely
you guys keep
probably.
talking for a sec. I gotta be right back.
All right, so this little devil inside.
Yeah. I'm super for it.
It looks pretty cool. I mean,
I love the art style.
yeah, I do like
I,
the art.
I love that it's like a monster hunting game.
Oh, see, this is how you can know that they got a good sense of humor here. Uh, if you look at if you look here, instead of a meat shop, it's a
It's a
schmeat
schmeat.
shop.
Yeah. Cause like the art style itself reminds me of like claymation.
The art style and the schmeat part of it reminds me of something a little bit like of what's that show? Steven's Universe. I never watched it,
Steven
but
Universe.
I know people like it.
Does it have like 3D rendered models?
No, I just mean like this main character kind of looks like the guy from to me, and then also like that little subtle humor I think is something they use in that show. I could be wrong because I haven't seen the show. I've seen like a little bit and
Yeah.
kind
I
of the
feel
vibe I got.
I feel like you might be speaking out of your element,
Yeah, maybe.
but yeah,
Maybe something more like Gravity Falls, like just very subtle humor, but
very
also a good
very
art
no
style.
subtle humor. I love Gravity Falls. I won't say that humor's subtle.
Yeah,
I'll laugh hard as shit.
I like the art in this a lot, and
Yeah,
it's like it looks like it could be very colorful when it wants to, and very
yeah.
creepy when it wants to.
Like with the art style, like you wouldn't think like the game would look super nice, but
Uh,
like when I watched it back in 4K, it looked like even better than when I watched it on the stream.
yeah. Well, I just think it's gonna. I think a lot of this uh, ray tracing ability.
Yeah,
I I mean, I could totally be wrong, but I think that it really helps animation look really good. Like it really helps with the kind of things that are a little harder to do in animation, like the light reflections and the things like that. Because we've seen a few games now, like Ratchet and Clank. Um, geez, what was that other one that we were talking about? I'm looking
you
here.
would have yeah, you'd have to remind me.
And we were just talking about it too. Uh, well, I don't remember,
'Cause the
but
only thing I can think of off the top of my head was Ratchet and Clank.
oh wait,
Are we talking about the project or
no,
the Kenna or whatever it's called?
yeah, can Bridge of Spirits. That's what it is. That one also, the animation looked extremely good. And I think it's just like this kind of technology, and it really helps animations because so far all the animations we've seen just look so good, like so much better. They look kind of like a movie quality, you know? They
Yeah,
look. It looks like you're really playing like a Pixar
yeah.
rendered movie.
I think like the make or break for a lot of these games is gonna be like frame rates.
Yeah,
It's like because a lot of games on like PS4, like they can handle a specific frame rate, but if you can give the like a good resolution and still maintain like at least 60 frames,
yeah,
then you're like doing good. Because like on PS4 Pro, you still have to choose between like frame rates and a high resolution.
yeah.
Where
I'm
like
back.
Welcome back to the podcast.
yeah,
I think if you look at things like the arena game, or I mean, sorry, Kenna, not arena. Uh,
if you look at that Reba game,
no, if you look at the
Oh, is that a
trailer
parry?
of the gameplay, it's like the they get all the subtleties pretty well, like the little bounces in the the hair, the flaps of her, like, I don't know what it would be, her tunic, the little
Oh, is that what you're looking at? You fucking perv.
the little, you know, hair flickers of the little fuzzy things. I don't know what they are. I don't think they gave a name for those yet.
Brennan,
Right.
while you were gone, we talked about the little devil inside.
And how I think
What's that
that
one?
Fi-
let's
Find it
Like
in
the
the
origami looking one?
yeah.
kind of, yeah.
Yeah, that one didn't look interesting to me at all.
It didn't look interesting to you at all?
No.
Wow. I loved it.
I said I really like the animation style, and it looks like, I mean, it was based off one very small thing, but it looked sort of like they were trying for like a little background humor type thing, which I can appreciate sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Is that the only game I missed?
Yes.
Well, we went back to
We started talking about ray tracing.
Yeah.
because I was talking about how all the animation games so far look really good, and I think it's because of that kind of like the ray tracing. It really helps with the light and those sort of things that are kind of
Mhm.
hard to pull off in animation sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
I think it just really helps.
This will easily be the best looking game, I think.
Horizon.
Little devil inside.
It's Horizon Forbidden West.
Horizon 2 Forbidden West.
So this is like Horizon Zero Dawn. And no, it's just Horizon Forbidden West right now.
Well, I think they had like a little 2 in between, like in the logo.
Is this another 1.5 type game? Is what I
No,
wonder.
this is a full sequel.
This is full on sequel.
This is like following the story of the first game, and it's going to be in a completely different place. It's going to be in the West.
Yeah, like as soon as like this trailer started, I was like, "Oh, this is good, the new Horizon game," and I was like, "Man, I should really keep playing Horizon Zero Dawn." I played it for like a good 4 hours.
That's about what I played as well.
It's really good. I didn't like it as much as most people, but I still loved it, and I'm really like, there are a lot of problems I had with it, but there are a lot of things that like could easily be fixed with a sequel.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited for this game.
Yeah, 'cause this game, it is a guerrilla game, and they make like the most ridiculous, visually good looking games. So like whenever you see their name attached to it, the game's gonna look good.
And the elephant looks awesome.
Yeah.
Like the new machines in general look awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I like the character. And I liked what I played from like the first one. I really should play through it some more.
Yeah, definitely. Like I definitely think anybody who like has a PS4 should play through it at some point.
Is it still coming to PC?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I might play it when that happens.
Yeah, I mean, I would recommend playing it on PC probably because it is such a good looking game.
Yeah, because the immediate reaction as soon as I saw the trailer for this new one, I was like, man, I should really get back to that and actually play through it, because I know like that from what they showed, like everything they showed, Horizon will be a console seller when it comes out.
Yeah. What is it?
You probably got to like holiday 2021, I would imagine.
That's what I would imagine. Like it's weird to not see like a Guerrilla game as a launch title. Usually like they had like Killzone as launch titles for like PS3 and PS4.
Yeah.
But I mean, I never have a problem with a developer taking more time to make a game good.
Yeah, definitely. They also it leaked like a while ago that like pretty reliably that Horizon Zero Dawn was going to be a trilogy.
Yeah, I'd imagine. It seems like a game that they could expand on quite a bit.
Yeah. The way the first one ended, like it really left a lot open. Like it like concluded the story well, But it was like, all right, but like this world has so much more to explore.
Yeah, that's always fun.
Hmm. Yeah. So this game, Bugsnax, this is made by the Octodad guys.
Yeah,
Which like Octodad was fun for like 5 minutes.
I
So I
I
don't know, but
I played through all of Octodad, got all the trophies. I
mhm.
enjoyed it, but
It
like this game, I don't know what the fuck it is.
yeah, I don't know.
There's little onions and shrimp things.
Like I'm not
There
like
are little bugs.
I have no idea what the takeaway from this game is.
Honestly, it looked like you play as one of these sort of bug catcher guys, and you just go around and you try to catch a bunch of different snacks.
Yeah,
And
I'm
all
just
the
gonna
snacks combine to make like one big snack monster. So maybe that's how they do bosses or something.
I'm just gonna say it. I'm probably not gonna play this game unless I see something else that like actually interests me in that game.
Yeah, I probably won't either.
I don't think
Because
I
from the
will.
look of it, I'm not interested at all.
Oh yeah, this one looks awesome.
Hold on. Ad time.
Yeah, so Astrobot is a really good VR game, and this is Astrobot,
Yeah,
but not
What is it
VR.
called?
I will say,
Playroom? Ooh.
yeah, I will say like from what I saw for what they're doing here, I
Mhm.
was like, wow, they're really trying to emulate Super Mario Odyssey.
Yeah.
Like it just felt like very Super Mario Odyssey to me.
I'm
Mhm.
fine with that.
I I got the impression that this game might be like free with the PS5, like a shorter
Maybe
game like Playroom, but like more just like focused.
I think if anything, like maybe if you buy, because I doubt they're gonna put like the camera with the game, like the
Yeah,
system. My guess is like if you buy the camera, you might get this.
Wait, I guess I didn't see. What is this camera?
like the PlayStation camera.
Yeah, for for like streaming. It's like a webcam.
Oh yeah, preloaded in your PS5.
Oh, okay.
So I guess I
So
just
there's a
subconsciously
little.
remembered that.
Where did they show that camera? I didn't see that.
It was in the
Like
like lineup of all the PS5
yeah,
stuff.
it was when they were showing like the controllers and
I saw the media controller.
the headphones and all that. Then
Yeah.
you missed the camera then.
Astro's Playroom though is one of my most anticipated ones because I love 3D platformers. Like it's easily my favorite genre of games, and they're very underrepresented nowadays. And Astrobot was really good, but I don't really care for VR. Like if I don't have to, because it's kind of hassle to play.
Yeah.
So like a non VR one sounds awesome.
Yeah, like I think third person VR is weird, but
Yeah.
so far like most third person VR games I've played are the
Mhm.
better VR games.
Yeah. Yeah, me too.
I think that people try to make 3D platformers, but it just is I think it's
Yeah.
really hard to compete. Like Ukulele was supposed to be like the big blowout one, and then no
Yeah, and
one
it
really
was
liked it.
awful.
And I'm
Ukulele
like,
was like one of the biggest disappointments to me ever.
yeah.
And I have
And
no
like
nostalgia for Banjo Kazooie. I played it in 2017 for the first time, and it was fantastic.
Hat in Time, everybody loves, or most people love, but like
Yeah.
still, it's not going to be like it's not going to compete when there's something like Mario Odyssey just dominating by 20.
I mean,
You know,
Head in Time did really well. But
yeah,
in general, 3D platformers just aren't as popular. Like, if you look at even the Mario games, the 3D Marios sell way worse than the 2D Marios. Like, New Super Mario Bros. Wii sold so much more than Galaxy 1 and 2.
Yeah, people there's some like I think there's like a nostalgia for side scrolling.
yeah, it's making a little bit of a comeback. Like a lot of stuff is trying to do it now. I think,
I don't know about a lot of stuff.
well, a lot of stuff that it is doing is getting popular. At least, like a lot of mainstream type people are playing things that you know generally probably wouldn't make the mainstream that much, like something like Celeste or
Celeste isn't mainstream. That was a super indie game.
I
But
think it got very popular at least.
yeah, I mean, it's indie, but it doesn't make it like just because it got popular, it's not mainstream. It was indie game to begin with.
Maybe something like Shovel Knight would be a better example. Then I think that got very, very big.
Everything you're talking about is an indie game, but just
But
had.
I mean, I think they made it to the mainstream like game market.
See, that's the thing. I don't think so because, I mean, like the only people I ever hear talking about, like when I think mainstream, I'm thinking like it's gonna be a game your grandma will even know. Like that's mainstream. Like I don't like outside of like me, you, Brendan, and my sister's boyfriend Brian. Like in our little circle of like our family, like we play the games, like we play pretty much like all the games out of anybody in this like family group. And like I'll know people that play games, but like I never heard them talk about Shovel Knight, never heard them say they played it, never heard them say they played Celeste, never mentioned it, didn't even know it existed. So it's like it's not like they're not super mainstream. They are known. Like they're more well known than a lot of indie. So like we'll call them like super indie.
Yeah. Well, I think in the same sort of sense though, like I think just like you said, the 2D Mario's. That's just I think a lot of that is like people who played games, back when they were first becoming really popular. It's like you said, it's what they know. Like it's very nostalgic, and I think a lot of people just wanted like I don't think there's been a super like even Mario. The only things they've really released lately that have been that way is kind of like the Mario Maker games,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know. I guess maybe maybe if they made a game like a full Mario 2D Mario game, we might not see it hit the mainstream so quickly. Like the same way that, like you said, like how Celeste and stuff like
Yeah.
didn't really. I don't know if another Mario would. I think it's just because it used to be such a common practice.
I
I
mean,
think
it definitely would.
yeah. I think like when it comes down to it, a 2D platformer
Yeah.
is much more accessible than a 3D platformer
Yeah.
because there's no like depth perception like necessary. Like you're not going to be like jumping for something like, oh, I can make that, and then it's like a little too far out.
Mm-hmm.
So like it's not difficult to platform in 2D. It's just knowing what you have to do in a 2D platformer is all.
Mm-hmm.
So like these games, like while they're not easier per se, like but pretty much anyone can play them because all you got to do is fucking press left and right.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't.
That's
I
what
don't
makes them sell.
I don't mean that they wouldn't get popular. I just mean like in the same sense that we probably wouldn't hear that many people talking about it except people that actively play games anyways.
Yeah. But
Like-
really, like the only way a 2D game, like a 2D platformer, is gonna make mainstream is if it's released by like Nintendo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's probably pretty fair.
They're the kings.
Things have come pretty close. I guess was my point. Is that things have come pretty close. Like there's been some very good ones.
I mean, I guess it depends what you mean by close. Like in terms of quality, maybe, but not in terms of like sales.
Yeah.
Like look at the sales of like the most recent 2D Mario, like New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe, versus like Celeste. It's not even gonna be close. New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe
It's gonna blow it out of the water.
It's one of the best-selling Switch games.
Yeah. Wasn't it like top 3 or 4 like Switch games?
I don't know. It's up there.
Like I know Animal Crossing. Like I think Animal Crossing is number 1 now.
Not overall. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is by a
yeah.
lot.
Yeah, of course, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
And then it was
Probably Super
Mario
Smash Bros.
Odyssey, I think, actually, or maybe it was Smash Bros. And then I think Mario Odyssey, and then Breath of the Wild.
Because I think Animal Crossing's super high up there because it's sold like fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, it's up there for sure.
Anyway, we're getting off hand. We're talking about Nintendo now. PlayStation. This is PlayStation.
What games have we not touched?
I think we got all.
Oddworld.
We didn't touch a lot of them.
We didn't touch Pragmata yet.
Pragmata and Oddworld.
Pragmata looks like Death Stranding, so like it makes me not care.
like I have to see way more of that game to even interested.
Yeah. Oddworld, I've never played an Oddworld game, so I really have nothing to say about that.
Oddworld just look like lemmings, but like maybe like more mature lemmings.
Mm-hmm. Not gonna lie, Goodbye Volcano High, it looked pretty interesting to me.
It'll be interesting to me, depending on what it is.
Yeah, it kind of looks like an adventure game, like Until Dawn or Life is Strange or something like that.
Maybe.
And the dinosaur characters kind of intriguing to me.
Yeah, I like the art style. I think it'll work good for the game, considering they chose like animal like dinosaurs.
Yeah, can you go to it, Cam?
What is it?
Goodbye Volcano High. It should be on here.
Yeah, it should be in your YouTube video here.
No, it's not. These are all the 4K trailers. Maybe this one didn't have a 4K trailer then?
Oh, maybe not. It's a pretty small game.
Yeah. But like I would like to see something that looks more like gameplay from it.
Mm-hmm.
Because if it just turns into like a visual novel.
Yeah, that's what I'm expecting.
Like I might be less interested in it.
Mm-hmm.
But if there's even like a remote sense of gameplay to it, like choices and all that, then I think it's something I could be interested in.
Mm-hmm.
I will say one thing I would like to see is the choice to not get these anchovies on the pizza. That would be...
They're dinosaurs, man.
Yeah, you're telling me if they're eating anchovies.
I just think the dinosaur characters, like, it's just something I don't remember ever seeing before. And it's just kind of cool.
Like, it definitely helps kind of set it apart from other things.
Yeah, it looks like the eye shimmer and the hair on a knot, typically depicted with hair type thing. It's a little My Little Pony.
I mean, it's obviously like furry heaven, but
why, Camden? Why are you so against furries?
I'd rather not get into my exact reasonings, maybe.
So you are against furries?
Because you're an animal abuser?
That is not. I think that it would be argued that a furry is an animal abuser.
All right, I'm not obviously I'm not a furry or anything, but I think you're making the mistake of assuming that furries want to have sex with animals or animal anthropomorphic characters, and it's not a sex thing.
I mean, for some of them, yes, it is a sex
for
thing.
some of it is, but that's not like what the definition of a furry is.
Yeah, I don't think a furry wants to fuck an animal. They
just want to dress up as animals.
Yeah,
like that's it. At the end of the day,
Persona's dog.
I mean, not every My Little Pony fan that's a male wears a fedora and says things like "milady," but it's the stereotype that's funny.
Look, all I'm saying is you probably shouldn't call furries animal abusers.
Yeah.
Hey, you called me one first, so I just...
No, I didn't say anything.
And you know what? I know it's not true, but I'm standing by it.
We welcome furries on Mr. Game and Beard, so
Yeah.
And I think this dinosaur game looks pretty cool.
Yeah. I think it's something I could get into. I just like to see a little bit more of it.
What's next?
Ghostwire. That's a pretty
Far
big one we missed.
Yeah, Ghostwire. Yeah, I was very intrigued to see Yu Yu Hakusho get like a 21st century update.
Oh, this is the one that has like like people were like, you really feel like you're in Tokyo.
Yeah,
I'm fine with that because I've always wanted to go there.
Like from the reveal trailer, like the original reveal trailer that had no gameplay. This game is not what I expected it to be.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But with that being said, I'm still gonna play it because it has like creepy Japanese ghost monsters, and I like the aesthetic.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I've talked about this on my channel a little bit. I'm very, very much a fan of like the sort of Japanese aesthetic stuff, like the Japanese cherry blossoms and the kind of Neo Tokyo type feeling, and this has kind of all of that.
I don't know about Neo Tokyo, but
well, it's like kind of maybe I'm using the Neo Tokyo thing a little wrong, but it's like very techy looking parts of it.
Have you ever seen Tokyo?
Well, yeah. I mean, I know it's actually like very techy. I'm just saying, like, these are. I don't know.
This is supposed to be like supernatural stuff.
Yeah, it's extra. It's extra. Like, I don't know. Some of these ghosts and stuff look almost like they're made out of electricity or something. Like, it's very cool.
I mean, ghosts are energy, so
yeah.
But yeah, I'm very interested in playing Ghostwire Tokyo.
Yeah, I really need to play Evil Within 1 and 2.
I should as well. I played through most of Evil Within 1. And then I just kind of started Evil Within 2 because that took way too long to play Evil Within 1.
Yeah.
And then I didn't get very far into it because I was like, I should have played Evil Within 1.
Yeah, I heard 2 was like really good.
Yeah.
So I want to play it. This is like Shinji Mikami, like he made Resident Evil 4.
Yeah.
So like very high profile guy. So I'm interested in that game. I just don't know how I feel about it right away.
Yeah.
What is this?
Jett the Far Shore.
Oh yeah, this one didn't look interesting to me at all, honestly.
No. Yeah, I saw, like, as soon as I saw it, I was like,
nope, I already don't like it.
Yeah, I was like, my interest level just went straight down.
For anyone that can't, well, we're gonna kind of
it's just
the screen, but as soon as the art popped up in front of my face, I didn't like it.
Like it's just a game where you're like a jet going across a landscape.
I keep seeing stuff like this last scene here in it with the rocket ship. I swear, I keep seeing stuff with like space themes lately.
It's an interesting concept.
Yeah, I'm like,
it very much is.
It's an interesting thing, but
it's a little too much.
I just don't care for it.
Yeah, I usually don't either.
Let's look at Camden's Google search history.
It's gonna be like furries, Rule 34.
Yeah, like, what does Neo Tokyo mean? Have I been using it wrong?
Oh, we already looked up Solar Ash. That's right. Okay, so what else? Hitman 3.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, it looks like another Hitman game.
Yeah, it looks like Hitman.
Never played a Hitman game, so I don't really have anything to say about it, but I mean, it looks cool.
Oh my
God. You're not old enough to look at this trailer.
It makes you enter an age of, or a date of birth to watch the trailer.
Yeah, it's a mature game.
This is why YouTube exists.
What is it? Like the last Hitman game I played where I played through all of it was Blood Money.
Is that
And then,
Hitman 2?
No, it's like Hitman 3, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Like the original Hitman 3.
Yeah, actually, my only experience with Hitman is watching you play Hitman, like on the PS2 or something. So it might have been that.
You probably watched me play Blood Money then.
Yeah.
And I had like a great time playing Blood Money. But now the games feel so much bigger than they were.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's harder for me to get into them. Because like
Yeah.
back in the day they were a lot more like condensed.
Mm-hmm.
Like you had like a decent sized area to do what you needed to do. But now it's like you get these huge expansive areas where you got to find your targets, and it's like ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I'm interested in it, and in Hitman 2 they brought in all the Hitman 1 levels.
Yeah.
So like if Hitman 3 brings in all the 1 and 2 levels, then this will be like the definitive Hitman experience. So
Yeah,
like I would maybe pick it up. I don't know.
That was another thing I didn't like, is they did it like an episodic thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, I wasn't super into that.
Mm-hmm.
Just because like with a game like Hitman, you just want to play Hitman.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't. I mean, they didn't have any indication they were going to do that here.
So I mean, if it's like a full game, I'll probably try it out.
Yeah, I could see myself picking it up.
Yeah, because like Hitman games, like you can always do so much, and it makes it interesting and fun. You have funny moments and all that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Godfall is the last game I think we haven't talked about.
Yeah. So it's made by someone from the Destiny 2 team. I never really liked Destiny.
Published by Gearbox.
Yeah, that's not a good sign.
Yeah, I was not a fan of that, because like also I will say the gameplay doesn't look like anything interesting to me.
Yeah.
The entire trailer looked like it was kind of mainly gameplay, but it didn't look very different from each other at the same time. Like all the gameplay seems pretty much very hack and slashy. It looks like they brought in like the Sekiro targeting system, sorta.
I got nothing against like hack and slash games. This just feels very like generic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This like whole thing just screams like generic mobile type of game.
Yeah.
Like it looks like Battleborn, like Gearbox's other thing, or
yeah.
I don't know. It just looks like not interesting at all.
I mean, I'll say this: if this game went on sale for like $20,
mm-hmm.
I would probably be like, I think I'll try it.
Mm-hmm.
But like being a game that just releases full price, I don't think I would waste my time on it.
Yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
It's not. Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say it reminds me of Rise, Son of Rome.
Yeah, I got Rise with my Xbox One,
mm-hmm.
and I thought Rise was like, honestly, it was done just for the graphics.
Yeah,
like, the game itself was mediocre, but like everything else, like the set pieces of the game, characters, they all looked fantastic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I only beat it because it was like literally like 3 hours long.
Yeah,
I think I got every achievement for that game. I, for whatever reason, really liked it. Like I think it was just because it was one of the only games I had to play at that point. I just played it to death, and now I look back and I'm like, why did I even play that?
All right, let's stop talking about Xbox. Let's talk
Godfall here, though. I do like the art style, but that's about the only thing I like.
Let's move on to probably what like the final thing we want to talk about is what we thought of the official PS5.
Like the actual console itself.
Of it?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, one thing I want to mention is, did you guys see like the size comparison chart for it?
No, I haven't seen that.
This thing is huge.
Is it?
It's bigger than the Series X. It's bigger than, way bigger than the PS4 Pro.
Are we talking like taller or like
grab
wider?
The picture to the right of that one. Yeah, here we go.
room.
See, like it's way bigger than the PS4 Pro.
Yeah, it's.
Playing fireworks outside.
Yep, I hear him.
I was like, is somebody hammering in your room?
No, but it's fireworks.
It's it's
Welcome
bigger.
to, the, welcome to the deep south of Michigan.
It's bigger than the original Xbox One. It's taller than the Series X. Obviously not as wide.
Bigger than the enormous PS3 original.
The fat boy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so this thing is huge. Obviously they prefer you to stand it vertically, but there was a picture of it on its side. It has like a little stand so it can be on its side.
Yeah.
I gotta say, I don't know about how I feel about the. I mean, I don't mind it being vertical, but due to my current setup, if I had it vertical on my desk, it would totally block my computer, which has glass, so you can see the inside.
Whoa.
So it's
They obviously just want to like maximize the airflow.
Yeah.
That's why it's like kind of curved. Even if you have it horizontal, like it's coming coming up off the ground.
Yeah. Because like honestly, PS4 runs like a fucking jet.
Yeah, it's really loud. I had to take my PS4 Pro apart and I replaced like the thermal paste in the pads, and it still gets pretty loud, but it's not nearly as bad.
Is this accurate here? What I'm reading about it, the PS5 runs AMD GPUs and CPUs.
I have no idea.
I have no idea.
Probably.
Yeah. I would imagine.
I think most consoles do. I know the Switch does, I think.
Like overall design. What, Camden?
So I see that camera now. I see it.
Like overall design of the PS5, I will say I'm a fan of it.
Mm-hmm.
I like the black and white together.
Yeah.
I think that's like a cool aesthetic piece.
Mm-hmm.
Like to me, it actually I'll say it kind of looks like an art, like a statue.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool.
I think it looks cool, but also I'm not really concerned about how it looks personally. Like it could look like a train wreck and I'd still be buying it, like if it plays the games.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's what they kind of like. They wanted it to make it like stand out.
Yeah, like so it was like some casual consumer will like see it in Target and be like, "Whoa, look, it's so futuristic."
Yeah, and then
deal with the controller, I think.
Yeah, I like the controller. I know I've heard of say they thought it was ugly. I think it's a great looking controller.
All right, here's my question: how much cheaper does the digital only version need to be for you to consider getting that one?
Honestly, like $100 cheaper.
There was a version of it that does digital only.
Yeah, it's right next to it up here.
Yeah.
There's the one with the disc drive, and then there's the one without the disc drive. Down.
Where?
On the video.
Yeah, like it's the one right in the middle.
The one you can see the disc drive on, the one next to it doesn't have one.
So it's like the slim.
It's just it's the same exact thing, just without a disc drive.
Yeah. So like the bottom corner of it, it's thinner.
Yeah.
I just don't. I mean, I get that a lot of people just buy it without the disc anyways, but I just still. Is it really that like inconvenient to disc drive?
Well, it's going to be cheaper.
Especially like you could do Blu-rays on it. You can.
Well, a lot of people haven't even bought a disc since like the PS3 generation, so for them it's a no-brainer.
There's just something like nice about having like a disc.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's very easy to have like go digital and do all that, but I don't know, it's like there's something gratifying about holding something physically in your hand.
Yeah. I mean, I love collecting games, so I'm gonna go physical. Probably no matter what.
As like a lot of people do the same thing with like books. Like they don't want to get a Kindle that can hold 10,000 books or something because they like having the book in their hand and opening it and reading. And And it's the same type of thing where like I like having the disc in front of me. I like having it on a shelf.
Mm-hmm.
And it's actually sometimes like a little bit disappointing when there's like something I really want, like a game I really want to get, and then they release it on like the free for PS Plus thing. Because then it's like, well, geez, someone's really going ham with those fireworks out there. But it's like you can't. It's like I can't justify paying money for a game. They're offering it for free there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like for me it's like I love playing like GameCube, Nintendo 64, whatever, like the Wii. So I'm thinking like 20 years from now, like the servers have got to be shut down. So I can't download those games on my like old PS4 that I still have. The only way to play it is on the disc. So that's kind of why I want the disc. Granted, most of them will still be useless if you can't download the updates.
Yeah.
But there are some games like Hollow Knight Physical Edition, for example, where they like made an effort to get everything on the disc, including all the updates and everything.
Yeah.
So that's why I like physical games.
I think the kind of digital game exclusive type people are the type of, are a lot of times it's just people that just want to play like the latest thing. Like they don't go back much.
Well, there's also the convenience.
Yeah, it's way more convenient.
And like I will say, like I bought Animal Crossing and Link's Awakening digitally because I just didn't like. I literally just didn't feel like going to the store.
Yeah. Or if you order from Amazon, you get it 8 o'clock in the afternoon and the day comes out, where you download it, you get it as soon as it releases.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's sometimes very convenient, especially for a game like Animal Crossing where I was super like I really wanted to play that.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I still get like a ton of digital games. Like I have like 200 digital games or something like that on my PS4.
Yeah, I mean, like it's so easy to just be like, oh, there's a sale, let me buy that real quick.
Yeah, like last week it was like Dishonored's on sale for $5.99. I already have it physically, but here I won't have to put the disc in anymore.
Yeah, like, oh, I don't have to go find the disc and put it in.
Yeah. If it goes down to like $5, I'll double dip on the digital.
Yeah, that's usually what I do. Like, but like depending on the game, I'm willing to go higher.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
that's about everything PS5 related, I think.
Yeah. Real quick, do you guys have any price guesses?
500.
I think that the digital version will be 500, and that the actual one will be 600, at least like around launch, just because with everything going on, I know they've had very rough like production.
Yeah, I think it'll be 500 and 550.
I feel bad for kids right now, actually. Like,
I don't feel bad for them kids. Fuck them kids.
Well, think about it this way. If you were a kid and the only way you could get games, even if you're like a young teenager, and the only way you can get games is by asking your parents, and you really like collecting the games, but there's a cheaper version where you can only get them digitally, and like a lot of parents aren't going to understand why you want the more expensive one. They're going to be like, well, this one's $100 cheaper.
I mean, honestly, I think most kids don't care about physical games.
Yeah, I really don't think so.
I think most of them would prefer digital games anyway.
Yeah, like the only way the kids are gonna like care about it is if like their parent is like someone who's like, oh, we gotta have a physical copy.
Yeah,
like if their parents like that person.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess maybe it more applies to younger teens. Maybe like I know, like at least when I was that age, like it was always cool to go over to your friend's house and see how many like Xbox games they would have stacked up or something,
Yeah. But
But I mean, it's a pretty minor thing. It's just I feel a little bad about that one aspect. It's like the 2DS. Like nobody wanted the 2DS.
2DS was underrated.
They got the
Yeah.
2DS.
The thing felt really nice.
yeah, but here's my thing though. Like with the PS4 or the PS5, my bad. Is like I feel like it's gonna be higher priced, and you know for a fact Microsoft is willing to sell this thing at a loss
Yeah.
because Microsoft is worth so much money. They're worth like $150 billion or something like that.
Mm-hmm. And they
And
just want to
then-
get it out there to sell Game Pass.
Yeah, and the only thing they truly care about is Game Pass. So like, they'll probably sell the Xbox One Series X or whatever the fuck it's called, probably like $400, like straight up.
Probably. Yeah, I'm sticking with 500, 550, I think.
I think between 500 and 600 between both.
And then I could see Xbox doing like 450, 400.
Yeah,
As I'm
for
sure they'll have a digital only one.
Yeah, they'll absolutely undercut the price of the PlayStation.
Yeah, they're just kind of playing chicken. See like who
Yeah.
announces it first.
Yeah, because like Sony doesn't want you because they know like their price point is probably going to end up being higher regardless.
Yeah.
But like if they if they release theirs first, the Xbox is just gonna absolutely play it like they're undercutting it. Like they're just gonna release it super fast and be like, "Yep, this is the price now."
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's what Sony did to them last generation.
Yeah, like everything. Like I feel like a lot of stuff is stacked up against Sony. Sony had a very strong showing with their games here.
Mm-hmm.
Like considering Xbox was like gameplay reveal for a bunch of games, and they were all like cutscenes.
Yeah, I didn't even watch that.
Yeah, like there were like nothing stood out. There was a couple games where I was like, that could be interesting, but I would like to see gameplay. Because like
Mhm.
I went there expecting gameplay and did not really see any of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So like the only thing going against Microsoft is pretty much what they're gonna put out. Like they bought way too many like gaming companies to
Mhm.
just not put something of merit out. Like they have
Yeah.
to do something.
Yeah, I'm curious to see like all those gaming companies they bought. Are they going to keep them Xbox exclusives or what?
Well, my guess is like coming to consoles, probably
Yeah.
because they'll be on PC like regardless.
I don't know. I mean, I guess it depends on the game. Like Ori, for example, made its way to the Switch.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
like smaller games like that.
yeah, I do believe they have a good working relationship with Nintendo.
Yeah, I don't think they really see Nintendo as their competition.
Like Nintendo is like a whole different kind of like workhorse.
Yeah.
Like they'll do their own thing, but like Microsoft now has companies that kind of have games that fit well with what Nintendo likes to do.
Mm-hmm.
So they know they'll make that extra money if they put their game to Nintendo.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, all right.
All right.
I think that's everything PS5 related, otherwise related.
Yeah.
Talked
Here's
about a lot, really.
last question for the PS5.
Yeah.
Are you gonna buy it at launch?
Absolutely, if I can.
Try to.
Like if I can get a pre-order in. Because I tried
it-
for the PS4 and I couldn't get it for 2 months after launch.
If it's really expensive and I can't afford it at the time, or if I can't get it in at the time, then unfortunately not. But I will definitely be trying to.
I saw a post on Reddit that described how I feel about the price. 600 is the max I'm willing to go unless it's more than that.
Yeah. Like for me, I will buy the PS5 at launch if they can put out another game that's not Spider-Man
Yeah.
that will interest me enough. Because I will play Spider-Man, but I can't imagine it being more than like a 20-hour game.
No, you'll
And
be
then
done
not-
with it first week probably.
Yeah, and then not having anything else to play to like follow it up, it's
Mhm.
gonna be like torture.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, Spider-Man was like the only one that said holiday 2020.
Yeah, I mean like Godfall, but I don't want to play Godfall.
Yeah. Maybe we'll get some like cross-gen games.
Yeah, so and if their main thing is you could just play your PS4 games.
I mean,
Then
that is
I'm just-
big for me because I do want to play them in like the best way I can, you know. So like
Well,
if they're
if
going to
that,
be
like,
significantly better, then
but if that's the case, where it's like even with like Xbox, I know they're trying to do like a lot of backwards compatibility. Like if their whole thing is play your last gen games on this, then I'm just gonna play my last gen games on the Xbox One X and PS4 Pro, and I'm gonna
yeah.
wait until there's like a solid PS5, Xbox One Series X lineup, and then
Yeah.
I'm gonna pick those up.
Yeah, I get that. I mean, I didn't buy a Switch until Mario Odyssey came out because I had a Wii U to play Breath of the Wild. You know, like I
Yeah, but you
needed
could have
like
played
a game that was
could've-
I couldn't play anywhere else.
you could have played Breath of the Wild on the Wii U though.
That's what I did. That's what I mean.
I mean on the Switch.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying
Or
like I didn't have like a game that I needed a Switch to play.
yeah. So PS5, Brendan and Camden for sure launch babies.
Yeah,
Me,
if I can.
if he can. For me, I need to see more.
Yeah, that's fair.
All right.
We still got tons of time too. Keep in mind, so I'm sure
Yeah.
we will be seeing more.
Yeah, I mean, I'll wait, but
Yeah.
we will. We'll see y'all.
Yeah.
See ya.
See ya.
All right. Bye.